Maddie.
I'm Amber. And we're Witches Talking Tarot.
We are the weird optimistic.
Like a song, like a sailor snubble. Flip the switch and let the cauldron bubble. Sam.
Wow.
Hi everyone, I'm Maddie.
And I'm Amber.
And we're
Witches Talking Tarot.
And today we're going to be talking all about doves. The beautiful bird. Doves.
Ooh, ooh. I was going to
Are you sure you pressed start on the... Oh, it's recording right there. Okay.
Yeah.
We are
using... Hey, sorry, go ahead.
No, it's just... And the thing is on stop, so I was like, did she hit the right button?
Right, yeah, no, it's... We have new software, guys, that we downloaded because we have noticed that even once we got our microphones under control and Amber learned how to use the soundboard appropriately, sometimes the internet lags, and while we're recording on Google Meet, like, you know, you can hear, like, it's like, as, you know, it's the internet is not catching everything we're saying, so, like, there's little pieces that are missing, so we're hoping that this will fix that, and you will have a wonderful audio? Is that a right word? Hey, I'm going with it. Audio experience.
So today we're going to be talking about the bird dove. And I think
I used to be able to coo like a dove. Why can't I do it now?
I've seen a white dove in person, and it was like such a bizarre experience because the white dove was like at the Dollar Tree. The fuck is a white dove doing at the Dollar Tree?
They bring peace and love and prosperity in some belief systems. But fidelity, maybe somebody was going to the Dollar Tree to hook up with somebody that's real cheap, and the dove was like, "Coo, coo, don't do it."
Doves are such beautiful creatures, but didn't you say you just read that doves and pigeons are basically the same?
They are the same thing. They are of the family
They're just different colors?
No. Columbidae, it's all the pigeons and all the doves. And the loose interpretation of what the difference between those birds is the loose interpretation is that it's based on size. If it's larger, it's going to be called a pigeon. If it's smaller, it's going to be called a dove. But that's actually not true at all, because when you look at some things that are called doves, they're bigger than some things that are called pigeons. And then there is the rock dove or rock pigeon, and it is called what it is called based on wherever the fuck you live. Because it's the same bird. You know what I mean?
I was just watching Dr. Dolittle, the 90s version with...
Eddie Murphy.
Eddie Murphy, yeah. With
I didn't
my
like
kids.
that one.
But can we talk about the self-hating pigeon? Do you know what I'm talking about?
I didn't really watch that one.
Oh, you did? Okay, so there's this pigeon.
But I am familiar with self-hating pigeons from a lot of cartoons.
Like, he, hates himself because he's a pigeon. He's like, I want to be a hawk. Pigeons suck. She's like, our children are pigeons. You're a pigeon. I'm a pigeon. And, it's like a
vaguely remember this, but,
argument.
I think that's, maybe that's, a pop culture thing, because I've seen that in other cartoons about, specifically a pigeon.
Right?
Where it hates being a pigeon because, pigeons aren't good birds.
It's
they're really beautiful.
They are.
Oh, my God. Pigeons are gorgeous.
Well, and I feel so sorry for them. But
necks.
I think maybe that's an episode
Shout out
in its
to
own. Because, we did pigeons wrong. We did pigeons wrong.
I was thinking, I was going to try not to bring them up a whole lot, except for where it that fact and, certain other facts about them. But otherwise, spiritually, pigeons have different stuff going than doves, other than there are some overlaps with, messenger, whatever. So I am down to cover pigeons separately. I tried to really keep my research to doves, but at the same time, I don't know if you saw this when you were doing research, but when you're looking up doves, pigeons come up all over the place because they're basically the same bird. I mean, they are,
They look so similar anyway.
They do.
You know, it's insane.
And, but have you ever seen a fruit dove?
No.
Fruit doves, y'all. They are the most,
you
think of a dove, you think of white. Fruit doves are all sorts of different colors. They're predominantly blues and greens, but they have splashes of magentas and yellows. And I never knew that those things that I saw pictures of in like little like nature documentaries or whatever. Like you see the birds in the trees.
You said fruit dove?
Yeah, it's called a fruit dove. And like they're gorgeous.
Oh, it's so pretty. Look at this one. Looks like he's blushing.
Yeah. Oh, that's not even like compared to the other fruit doves. That's like nothing. Like some of them, yeah, you see that bad boy.
Oh,
like,
that is so pretty.
They are so.
They're like
pretty.
the what are they called? Fucking parrot.
Yes, they do look like parrots. I never would have guessed that was a fucking dove, y'all. And like, here's the thing: you say we do pigeons wrong, which we do pigeons wrong, but if we represent doves as white or turtle doves as the graying.
Sorry,
Aww.
that's like
It was so tiny.
he looks like Luna.
It was so cute yesterday. But like doves are so varied. And, like, they're not just these gray with a neck ring or white. They are one of the most varied birds that we have. They are also the most widespread. Doves and pigeons, columbidae, they're the most widespread birds across the entire world.
No, okay, so that confuses me a little bit. So you say that, but then on our previous episode about crows and other birds, wasn't there one on every continent?
They are, but the doves, there's like more varieties. There's more volume of the birds. There are more of them.
Okay.
So like, I think crows and doves / pigeons, they probably occupy the exact same spaces. However,
there's more population of doves.
Doves are better at apparently dove pigeons, columbidae, are better at flying across the oceans, apparently, than any other bird, because where you go to these islands, like those beautiful-ass doves you were just looking at pictures of, like, these doves, they're island doves, because they were able to fly to these far-flung islands and then take over. Like, not take over from a standpoint of, like, fighting out other things, but there weren't as many predators on these islands. So they're able to flourish, and they get these different attributes that the doves we're used to don't get because they're where they're at.
So they evolved.
They did. Yes. They evolved. Like in the same way that crows evolved with their different variations, but doves just did it way more. Right? So, corvid, corvus, they went as broad as they did, but columbidae, they went like
above and beyond.
It's like go big or go home, and those motherfuckers weren't going home because they fly everywhere. The only continent they're not on is Antarctica, and then they don't like the cold, so they're not up in like Siberia and the northern Canada and stuff. Sorry.
I love the memes that I see of the birds, the male birds, and it's like just a regular bird woman just chilling, right? And then all of a sudden it's like a person that's the male bird, and they've got like every fucking outfit on.
Yes.
Or they're like doing some stupid dance.
I love male bird mating dances. Do you watch the videos of male bird mating dances?
Yes.
They be like and like their feathers are like and it's amazing.
And it's so funny.
If
I love them.
You know what my noises are about.
I love them because in most of those videos, the female bird looks so uninterested.
She's like, bitch,
Go
I
away.
saw 2 guys before you that were way better.
I know,
I didn't get with them.
They try so hard for their girls.
They do. And it's funny because, like, you bring that up, and in columbidae, so pigeons and doves, they don't have that differentiation. The male and the female, they both pretty much look the same, like coloring wise.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
that's
which I didn't realize.
So did they do a dance? Do you know?
Yeah, I'm
they
sure.
Do.
I'm sure.
They do
I
something.
didn't actually look into their dances, but they mate for life, which is why, or they tend to mate for life. They're monogamous, right? So when they're mating with they're together, they raise the babies together, they build the nest together, and they're sad nests. Columbidae makes very bad nests.
Aww.
So the fact that they are like the most prolific bird just speaks
that's why
to their
they
fucking
work together,
numbers,
because they have to work together because their nest is so shitty.
Yeah.
Speaking of sad story about birds, last year, don't know if you saw, there was a group, a couple of the eagles. I don't know. Do you know what I'm talking about? Oh, that was horrible. The eagles, and she finally laid an egg, right? And it never hatched. And the dad,
going to my happy place.
They fucking tried for so long, and the egg never hatched. And then she left.
Some birds that are sterile put rocks in their nest.
Isn't that so
and try
sad?
to.
She left. She finally gave up, and the male, the daddy bird, was still sitting on that fucking nest. Finally, she came back and tossed it out and was like, "It's not real. It's not a real egg." And he was like,
"Hysterical pregnancy, y'all."
He was like, "Why did you do that?"
I'm watching two different shows that have hysterical pregnancy.
Oh right. It was just it was so sad. Birds are so.
No. I'm trying not to get sad about this. Sorry
birds,
guys for my inappropriate jokes, but this shit. I don't.
Well, birds, when it comes to their not their pregnancies, but their eggs and their partners are very, very intense. Which is why I am so sorry to get off on this. I will change. But which is why in Jurassic Park, what's his face said, it makes sense that a T-Rex would actually be a good mother, not just have a baby and then be like, psych, see you on the other side.
Yep, because they're so bird-like. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I mean, the reason that doves are associated with love is because of that they mate and they stay with their mate, and some, very often, they mate for life. Yes. And when their mate dies, they don't get another mate. That's very rare in the bird world. There's only 3 kinds of birds that raise their young and take care of their young together. The penguins are one of them. Dove/pigeons are one of them, and I can't remember what the other ones are. But also, when it comes to taking care of their young, doves and pigeons, they make this thing called crop milk.
Oh, what's that?
So in their gullet, where they process their fruit or seeds, because most of them eat fruit or seeds, or fruit and seeds, and sometimes they eat bugs and stuff, but mostly it's fruit and seeds. They're fruit and seed birds. But they have this gullet thing where their food goes to get processed at first or whatever. And so when they have young, that creates this thing called crop milk, which is it's like breast milk, but it's not like breast milk. The consistency is like cottage cheese.
Ew,
it was described as.
Gross.
But when the baby birds are hungry, they just get to go in and they just dig in. So it's not in the crop milk situation, and I meant to look up how other birds feed their babies. So I think I read that
flamingos do something similar, but I don't know.
Yeah, they weren't the third bird that was listed when I was reading about crop milk, but that doesn't mean that they don't have a similar thing. But the babies, they go right in and they get that crop milk and they eat it right out of the parent's throat.
Baby birds are
moms and dads do it, and maybe that's what it is. Maybe this is one of those only 3 birds where the dads also can make the crop milk. I'm not sure where the 3 comes
Baby birds are horrible.
But you can look it up.
We went to a it was a pet shop, and this one guy was they had a talking parrot. She's like, "Oh, you want to see its baby?" It was the ugliest fucking thing I've ever seen.
That's what you meant by horrible.
A random fucking blue feather here.
You can see the beauty in everything red feather. When you can see baby birds. That's cute.
I can't see baby birds.
I guess it's for me, baby birds are your hairless cats, because that is terrifying. Baby birds gotta be cute. My parents, when they lived in Kansas, they used to get these birds that would just make nests all in the eaves of their house, tons of nests. And it's really sad because sometimes the nests would get blown out by the high winds on the plains of Kansas. And sometimes after they hatched, the baby birds would fall out.
That sucks, and you can't touch them.
Actually, I read that was a myth.
Well, I wouldn't because of disease. But
if I need to look into whether it's a myth or not for real, because if it's if you can just put the baby bird back in its nest and then go wash your hands.
Yeah, right. Also,
I mean, it's no different than saving a bird feather in a bag for 30 days and then putting it on an altar. And maybe y'all just put them straight on your altars, but I was raised in the 80s, and my mama said bird feathers in a baggie, sealed tight, 30 days to
Mhm.
kill anything on
Yeah,
it.
that's what I was told too. Yeah.
And I don't want bird lice in my hair. I don't know
Well,
what the
you know
fuck
what?
that's like. I don't even know if we can get the bird lice in our hair, but my mama told me the things that we learn when we're young that do not leave us.
And not all baby birds are ugly. Baby penguins are cute as fuck.
Truth.
Baby penguins
Happy
are
feet.
so cute.
Next December we should do penguins.
I
was
would love to
thinking
do
I would
penguins.
do
They-
penguins.
I would love to do them because, like, they
Happy
are
feet.
the babies are so cute. My great aunt.
Rock penguins.
My
Wait,
great
is that right? No. Anyway.
my great aunt went to Antarctica on vacation.
Lucky
Like I know, like she did though, and they saw the penguins, and she said they were the most disgusting smelling creature that she had ever seen. They smell
I
like
have
bird
heard.
shit, and they smell like
I
fish.
have heard.
Yeah.
I had not heard the fish thing, but that makes sense.
Oh,
But
yeah.
I did hear that their shit was real bad, which the
Oh,
fish thing makes sense.
Right, like she said, like it was cute,
Yeah.
but like she's like I could barely stomach the smell. Like also, I didn't know you could go on vacation to Antarctica just to go on vacation.
Oh, we gotta go look for all them like secret bunkers and shit.
Like global warming.
I just meant like the conspiracy theory that they have all this
She
shit
stayed
hidden
on
in
a boat,
Antarctica.
so like it was like a yacht, or not a yacht. I'm sorry, it was a
Cruise ship.
and then the ship docked in Antarctica and stayed there for a while.
That might be a yacht though. You might not have been wrong. I don't know
I
anything
don't
about
know.
boats.
Look, she's got money.
I don't know.
Like her, like not to be vulgar or anything, but she was a judge and her husband was a lawyer. So, and her husband died. And she's
not the nice
retired.
about him dying.
No.
That was not a nice.
She
I
also
wasn't
went to
nicing
Alaska. She took my grandparents
Did
to
she go
Alaska.
see whaling? Did
Yes.
we get to see like
They
not
did.
whaling? Not whaling! I said it wrong, guys.
No, but
the
the whales.
whale spotting.
Yes.
Whale spotting. I meant
They
whale
did
spotting.
that.
Whale
My
watching.
grandmother got-
That's what I meant. Don't kill me.
She has some of those authentic. She got a bunch of like. She got one for my mom, one for her. She didn't get one for me. I was too young. But the very beautiful Alaskan coats. That's the one my mom gave to a homeless guy, and that's why she was very upset about that. So now I understand. Which that sucks.
That sucks. Nice. That sucks.
Yeah.
But so
anyway, back about doves.
back to doves. So one thing that caused doves to be seen as super, super docile
Mhm.
was the way that humors were, or medicine in medieval times. There were 4 humors. There was your blood, your phlegm, your black bile, and your yellow bile. And for like these liquids or humors in your body had to be had certain levels for you to be like chill, dude, right? So like if you had too much black bile, you were just miserable. People didn't want to be around you. If you had too much blood, you're happy-go-lucky all the time. You've got a bunch of energy, right? And if you have too much yellow bile, you're horribly unpleasant and mean and nasty and just
I'm like kind of
ill-tempered.
believing this though. Like
I mean, look, everything has to be in balance. So I'm
Right.
not against this, right? Especially like because if you have more blood, then that means more iron in your system, which does make sense because you would have more energy and
Exactly.
you're probably going to be in a better mood as you're doing things.
Well,
But
and you say mucus, right? Like that was
phlegm, I think
phlegm,
So
mucus,
same
sickly,
thing.
depressed.
Well, I mean, not just that, but like if you eat a hot pepper and your nose runs, that's supposed to happen, right? So
Mhm.
that's mucus,
Yeah.
right? Also, we've got like our stomach and our mouth are lined with mucus. Did that count? I don't know.
But if you have too much, so
But yeah, if you have too much, it's not a good thing. You can't breathe.
I watched a thing. I'm so
No, you're
fucking
good.
sorry.
This is how this show works.
Right.
If,
so
if you are new here, this is how this show works. If you are not new here, you obviously enjoy it.
shout out to shout out to Barbara O'Neill. Okay, love her. I do hate her.
I thought we were gonna shout out our long-term listeners.
Yeah, that too. But she's a holistic health practitioner, and she had mentioned mucus, and one of the thought processes.
Is she
with
the Australian lady?
Yes.
I love
I
her.
fucking love her.
I love her.
I've been listening
I
to
want
her
her to
stuff.
be my grandmammy.
I know she's amazing.
With
the gray
reverse,
hair
like
and-
the reverse thing, it's real fucking with me. Like I'm like my
I know,
fingers
it's
aren't
weird.
like this, but my fingers on this hand are. Anyway,
But
sorry.
one of the thought processes is with holistic health, when you're sickly, it's because you have too much mucus. Too much mucus in your stomach causes digestion issues.
Yep.
Too much mucus in your throat causes sinus issues.
Too much mucus in your lungs causes breathing issues.
Exactly. Too much mucus in it's like your colon causes, colitis and
Right, problems
diverticulitis.
with
Yes.
digestion because
Right.
there's too much mucus. Things are not.
Too much, and then you can have
Yeah.
not enough, which
Right.
means you're really dry.
Right,
Which causes
exactly.
also issues. So
Yeah.
you mentioned that, and I was like, listen, Barbara kind of be like, I believe her.
Like but like, because my thing with that is like, medieval medicine. No, it wasn't what we have today as medicine, but today they pump certain chemicals into you and call it medicine. So like, who's fucking right? I don't know. But the whole like begets like thing, I follow that. I truck with that shit. Because like begets like. Plants be making you sick, plants be making you well. It makes sense to me. So I'm not against the humors thing. But that's part of their, that was the basis of medieval medicine at one point. And I'm not disagreeing with it at all. Like I could totally see the opposite of fallacy. I can't think of the right word. But anyway, so
Wait.
so like, I don't know if you guys know, but doves and pigeons are eaten a lot.
Oh my God, in Britain.
Well, not just Britain, like anywhere in Europe.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
But especially Britain, like, because when I was reading about turtle doves, like, there's so many in Britain and Ireland and stuff. There's so many groups that are trying to, like, to save the population because there aren't any more. Like, you used to be able to, like, hear turtle doves turring out all the time because that's why they're called turtle doves. They turr instead of coo. I found that out in my research.
I did not know
would've
that.
known.
That is very
Yeah.
interesting.
Also, if you see, like, in, like, old literature, something that talks about a turtle, they're not necessarily, especially if it's European or British, if they're talking about a turtle, they're not probably talking about a turtle, like, with a
you
shell.
think they're talking about?
Well, no, they are talking about a turtle dove. Like, that's what I read. Like, Shakespeare does it in several of his, like, soliloquies. He refers to the turtles that sing, and he's talking about turtle doves. And they don't actually sing; they just turr, just like pigeons and other doves coo. They can't sing. They predate songbirds.
Oh, I love mourning doves.
Yes, and their
They're
morning
beautiful.
song
What
is
is it?
not.
It's
like.
Wait, how does it go?
Yeah, they have a longer coo than most.
Oh no.
doves do. Something like that. Basically, it kind of sounds like somebody who's mourning. It's like, ooh, ooh.
Almost
But it's, like,
owl-like,
deeper.
but not.
Yeah,
Yes,
it's like,
beautiful.
ooh. You can just picture somebody crying. But they have beautiful calls, but they can't sing. None of them can because they predate songbirds, apparently.
Oh,
which is
that's
very
interesting.
But during medieval times, somebody was dissecting a dove and discovered that dove physiology or columbidae physiology doesn't have a gallbladder. Now, gallbladders process and store your yellow bile, or at least that's what they thought in medieval times.
Right.
Which is why it's called a gallbladder. You're always galled at everything.
Right.
I had no idea.
If you don't have a gallbladder, I know you get, like, shit all the time. So, like, is that why they shit all the time?
I mean, maybe. I don't know about that. They have other systems, whatever. They just don't have, like, a gallbladder, whatever. But, like, that means they didn't have yellow bile in the eyes of medieval scientists, which is why they were so amiable and nice, and they're associated with peace and being, like, chill and stuff because of the fact that they don't have a gallbladder. I thought that was super interesting.
That is super interesting.
I had
never
no
would've
idea.
guessed.
Because, like, it's not just their behavior that makes us think things about them. It's also, in this instance on this bird, the fact that they don't have a gallbladder, and it relates to the way that they viewed medicine at the time.
Right.
Your gallbladder held your yellow bile. Yellow bile makes you unpleasant.
Uh-huh.
Having absolutely no gallbladder means absolutely no yellow bile,
Right.
which means you're not unpleasant. So you're always pleasant, and that's why they're associated that way. They do have yellow bile. It's just not in the gallbladder. They don't have one.
That is so interesting. You
I
know,
thought that was super interesting.
so when doing my research on it with the spirituality, of course, I came up with Christianity and Catholicism. The dove was the one that Noah sent out to see if there was land once they were like floating there. I'm so glad you watched that Noah movie. Because, like, it really put some shit into perspective. Because, like, in my head, it never occurred to me that there were people literally banging on the fucking door trying to get in. Like, for some reason, when they
don't teach you that.
No, they don't!
Like, Sunday school, you color the pictures of the animals.
Sunday school, they're
2
like...
by 2,
It was just a very peaceful ride.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't. Like, I was like, why did I never imagine it that way before?
I mean, it had to be, like, one of the most terrifying things.
Oh my god, and also...
Because you never know if there's going to be land again. Like, everything's getting covered in water.
You're in the fucking in there, and you hear your friends saying, help me, let me in. How the fuck do you not?
Yeah. No. And I mean, like, I love the fact that Noah sent the dove because they're the best at flying over the ocean. So, like, the raven was sent first and came back empty-handed.
Right.
The dove was sent second and came back with the olive branch. Then the dove didn't come back at all because he flew far enough to find land.
Yes, yeah. I love that. Ooh, I got chills. I love that. And it's like, it's not just a biblical thing. I'm pretty sure that I had read pirates or people on the sea have done things like that too.
I did not read that.
Maybe not necessarily with doves,
but that makes sense why they have pirates. Or parrots.
Parrots! That's why they have parrots! Oh my god, that makes so much sense.
And maybe some of those parrots were actually fruit doves.
Maybe.
Possibly.
We don't know, we're assuming.
Well, like, I say what I say, but a lot of the island dove and pigeon breeds, they don't fly anymore because there were no ground predators before people started bringing cats and mongooses around, and now they're endangered. Thanks, guys, for fucking up ecosystems. Anyway.
Speaking of, like, fucked up ecosystems and birds, because you know that's how this podcast be, what can we talk about the fucking, like, giant-ass birds that are, like, eating animals? Like, what are they? They're seabirds. Pelicans are eating, like, everything. Like, they're, like...
Oh, because we ruined where they get their food from?
And they're, like, people are concerned that
the pelicans saw what the killer whales did, and they said, hey, guys, we're taking shit back.
They're attacking children.
That's terrifying.
So, I'm like...
They could definitely take off with a small child.
Killer birds, bro.
Yeah.
Because,
well, they gotta eat something. They want to survive.
They have to eat, and they don't have any food.
And they're not like, oh, well, the people didn't mean to fuck it up where I don't have any food. We'll figure something else
they're
out.
Big enough to scoop up a child.
Yeah, no, they don't care. Yeah, like, one of my biggest pet peeves, since we're soapbox momenting, one of my biggest pet peeves is how people think that somehow people are better than animals, and that animals somehow know that, and they know that we're the highest members of the pyramid. We're not. If we were the highest members of the pyramid, we'd be built like bears or sharks.
Literally, or lions.
Yeah. Like,
what'd you think of that video I sent you of that lady who was kayaking and fucking, that alligator came up to her and she pushed him away with her paddle?
I'm pretty sure what I responded to you with was, I would shit myself.
Dude, she's like, oh my gosh, I had to push him away. Like, so, didn't even care.
I wish I'd sent it to you. I didn't even, because I was in the car and I didn't have the greatest service, but this video came up. And it's a video of a guy who's videotaping a cow going down the river. And at first you just think like, oh, this cow's dead in the river.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
And then you can see underwater this gigantic fucking crocodile that is swimming off with this cow, which is why it's in the water, because it got grabbed by this gigantic fucking crocodile. Because if my hand is the cow, like, its body from its head down, the rest of, like, my arm from my wrist to my elbow is the part of the croc you can see in the water going off with it. Gi-fucking-gantic.
I
would shit myself. Hopefully, it wouldn't want to eat me if I smell like shit.
I'm starting to get a little softer towards alligators.
I love
Fuck
them.
a crocodile.
I do love them too.
Nah, fuck them. They're mean. Like, fuck us.
Well, I don't like a salty.
Salt.
Yeah, salties are
crocodile.
scary.
Yeah, no,
You
fuck
could
that.
never get my ass to Australia
They
because
hunt
of
people.
salties. And yes, they do.
They specifically do.
Because they realize, like, we have no defenses and we somehow think we're better than them. And they're like, lunch just served itself. Guys, look at this. They're just all in the water. Come on. I mean,
Like,
that's
crocodiles,
crazy.
alligators
The spiders.
don't. Oh, fuck the spiders. dude.
Fuck the spiders.
But, like, alligators are, I'm starting to realize they're nicer. That's not the right term, okay? I realize that's not proper. But, salt crocodiles, fuck 'em.
Saltwater crocodiles are just actually more aggressive.
Yeah.
That's why they're more likely to hunt people. Whereas, like, alligators will hunt people if you live by water in Florida and you go to the same spot
They'll
every day.
watch you.
I almost got eaten by a crocodile because they
literally
watch you.
you.
An alligator, my bad. We
They
have
watch
alligator.
you, they learn your routine,
Yep.
and then they check you when you're most vulnerable.
Yep.
Yeah, fuck that.
My brother and I always went swimming together at a certain time of day. There was an alligator in the canal behind our fucking house. We went out to swim, and our dogs were acting all kinds of fucking crazy. I know I've told you the story, but I just can't help it because it's real. Like, I'm headed to run and jump in my pool, little 7-year-old Amber, and my collie was like, bitch, get back. And this dog was so nice, unless you were running around water. She hated that. But my dog that, like, ran all the way from southern Florida up to the panhandle without getting eaten by an alligator, this bitch wanted back inside. And I'm like, that's fucking weird. And I turn and I look, and just in the water, mouth open, waiting to feel the vibrations of prey getting in the water, is the fucking alligator from the canal behind our house. Like,
I think I read that, like, if an alligator does try to attack you, that if you can hold its mouth closed because they don't have much strength.
If you can get its mouth closed, yes, then you can hold its mouth closed because they have a lot of snapping strength, but not a lot of opening strength.
Right.
But if an alligator is coming after you over a span of, like, and you have place to run from it, do not run in a straight line. Run zigzag. As soon as that alligator's getting close to you, turn very far and wide, because the tail, they can't turn on a dime like we can because their tail's going to slow them down. So when they're getting close, if you zig, it gives you some time to get the fuck away, because they can run super fast on land. They can run faster on land than people can.
My fear is that because of global warming, we're going to get alligators at some point, and I don't want that.
Oh, yeah, 100%. Well, alligators used to naturally exist this far north. They used to naturally be this far north. People got rid of them, and yeah, they could come back. I don't know. But, you know who doesn't have to worry about alligators for the most part? Usually doves. I didn't read anything about alligators when it had to do with doves. But, like, so, in a lot, they have very close connotations to fertility in some pagan pantheons. They also have close ties to fidelity, loyalty, and love in pagan pantheons, just like they do in Christianity. And in Judaism, the dove represents the people itself, which I thought was kind of beautiful. Like, and I liked that dichotomy with Christianity, where, like, the dove represents kind of like this bond between God and Jesus, and in Judaism, they do not believe in Jesus, or they do not believe that Jesus was like the incarnation of Christ or what have you. And they see the dove as that, you know, I don't know, I just like the dichotomy there. Doves do not take any particular significance in Islam, though.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
That's very interesting. Is
Yeah,
there anything
but,
else you can
I can't, did I say out loud that the Slavic god Djed or Dayed,
You did not.
god of marriage, and basically,
I love that.
if the 10 of Cups was a deity, that's what he is of, because he's not just, because there's multiple gods of marriage, but like kind of different
yes,
exactly, yes. So it's like household, like it's the harmony of everybody in the house, and the love in the marriage staying strong, and like the energy of like lovers becoming friends, where like, because if you're only lovers when you finally get older, what do you have to hold on to, right? Mm-hmm. But if you're friends, when that one aspect of your life perhaps goes away, you still have something to hold on to, right? And so Dayed, he is that in the Slavic pantheon, and he is represented by doves. And I thought that was kind of beautiful. He's actually represented by 2 doves, possibly 2 turtle doves. And my husband gets me 2 turtle doves every year as an ornament for Christmas. So I really, really loved that shit. And I also looked up why 2 turtle doves was part of the Christmas song, like, and it thought, like, one thing said that it related back to the Jesus when Jesus was born. Mary and Joseph couldn't afford to pay the rabbi for his birth, which I assume means his bris. You know what I mean? Because like the rabbi didn't deliver him, but the rabbi would have like done the religious ceremonies, right? Mm-hmm. So they paid with the 2 turtle doves, and so like I don't know. Somebody had said like that's where 2 turtle doves being given to the love comes from, mm-hmm. in the 12 Days of Christmas. Because I figured, like, can we talk about doves and turtle doves without bringing up Christmas? They are like one of the stars of that song. In a pear tree.
I miss Christmas. I'm so sad it's over.
Yeah, I won't lie. It was really fun. While we were doing something Christmas related, and the daughter that was in the background just now getting her puppy from me, she busted out in singing the 12 Days of Christmas, and pretty soon everybody that was in the room except for my lame husband was singing the 12 Days of Christmas.
Nice.
Yeah, that was fun. So I'm sure there's probably things I wanted to say about doves that I've forgotten about, but like ultimately they do represent peace and love, mm-hmm. for a reason, because Absolutely. They are very peaceful and very loving as creatures, to the point that we have overhunted them and put many, many different varieties extinct. So, doves aren't just a little white bird that carry an olive branch, and we should definitely give them the respect they deserve.
That includes pigeons.
Yes, it does. But we'll do a
whole episode on that. I won't get on the soapbox.
Doves, messengers from the deceased / messengers, mm-hmm. from the gods and the goddesses. That's a big thing with doves in a lot of different pantheons. Oh, and they Aphrodite is pulled in her not sleigh, but her chariot by 2 doves. Yeah, and she's often pictured with 2 white doves in her hand, because they are what pulls her chariot, which I thought was kind of cool.
Well, and they symbolize fertility and relationships
and love.
Yeah,
so that makes sense. So, yeah, and I like how full circle doves really come with that whole, like, all of the spiritual connotations we have for them, like, relate directly back to like the science about them, like how far flung they are, how good they are at flying over the ocean, and just like all the different things that I see when we do these animal episodes, like the dove one, it's just right there. Like I really, really like that was really cool. The animal
episodes are great. Yeah.
They are. I learned so fucking much. So much more than just about the animal too, because like I learned about crop milk. I thought crop milk was just a fancy way of saying they throw their food back up for the baby.
Ugh.
Well, I mean,
yeah, but I guess
that's why I meant to look into how other birds feed, because like I don't really know how it works. Yeah, so I guess
if you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to like and subscribe. You can find us on Threads, Facebook, and Instagram at Witches Talking Tarot.
We're on the X at Classiest Witches, because we are the classiest witches you know, which Death by DVD,
Pam,
and Victoria already know. And just in case it was a fluke and you didn't actually cancel your Patreon, we'll go ahead and
Say Melissa.
yeah. But you can also get a spiffy little shout out from those folks that know we like to have fun on here and want to help us have that fun by helping support the show. They found us on patreon.com/We Just Talking Tarot, and you can go there for support as well.
Thanks for sitting with us for a spell.
Bye.